Hello and welcome to another delicious session of Vampire Therapist. Blah blah blah. Yes. Hello, it is I, SpoonyNin. How you doing? We're back, baby, and we're playing Vampire Therapist. And I don't know how to do my hair because my hair is particularly skanky today, but that's okay. Never mind. And as you can see, I am gloriously kitted out as a member of the undead. And I have really gone to town today. I'm quite pale and pasty, but that's okay, because I'm supposed to be. I'm a vampire, blah blah blah. And I've also got my vampire glasses, which I didn't wear last week, which I probably should have done, which would have saved me so much time doing makeup. But never mind. Oof. There we go. Oh wow, I look like a vampire hippie. Peace and love, man. Peace and love. I just want to bite people, suck their blood, and listen to Jimi Hendrix. That's what I want to do. I'll tell you what now. What? I just want to suck them dry. I want to suck them dry, suck them down. That's what I want to do. Just want to drink. Just want to drink some blood. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, I'll take those off. Wow, that's so red. Gonna have a quick sip as well. Don't mind if I do. Yes, so it's the fourth session. So we've got Dr. Drain and Lord Luridus. Lurid. Dr. Drain Mark II. And we've also got Isabella. We've got more distortions to look through, including mind reading. There's a whole bunch. We learned more last week, so I don't know if I'm ever actually going to get a clean sweep again, because it's tough, especially when you're me and you forget to look at the book. But yeah, we're gonna have a gay old time. Lots of vampires, lots of blood sucking. Yeah. So let's get on to it. Let's see what other horrors await us. Also, ooh, what's this? There you go. That's the ticket. Oof. Also, it's a lot cooler in the UK now, so that's quite nice. Actually, tell you what. Oh, just show a little. Actually, that makes me look like I'm stripping. I have got a bra under here, I'd like to point out. It just, you know, whatever. Anyway, let us turn that off. Let us switch over to here. Speed mic, Minecraft. Twitch music is off. Wonderful. Actually, I might just switch it off on my end as well. Hey, gimme. Oh, it's there, that's why. You cheeky little douche nozzle. There we go. That's better. Hooray! Hooray for pies. And before you ask, I did used to have my ears pierced, but I don't have them pierced anymore. So yeah. Anyway, I hope everyone's had a good day. I hope you all have lovely plans for the weekend. Yeah. I hope everyone watched some Olympics and saw bits that were fun and good and you enjoyed them. I did. I watched the women's skateboarding final and I watched the men's skateboarding final. I also watched some taekwondo, a bit of sailing, a bit of kite surfing. That was pretty good. That was exciting. Haven't seen any break dancing though. A bit pissed off about that. But there you go. Anyway, let's whack on the old headphones of truth and deliciousness. There we go. Wonderful. And let us continue. we are here. Yeah. Okay, here we go, kiddies. Some hot vampire fun. As long as it loads.
Yeah, you got any drinker's blood?
I know you are joking. You will not dilute your blood before a session.
Yeah, I know, you're right. I just don't know who I'm meeting tonight. Is it gonna be Dr. Drain or that Lord Luridus fella?
Lourdes, that's the guy.
You only met a single individual last time, and you will meet only a single individual this time. Do not let Dr. Drain's avoidance of accountability confuse you.
You saw the guy, though. Lord Luridus ain't nothing like Dr. Drain.
I beg to differ, actually. You know what I'm gonna do? Sound master. Oh, everything is turned up. Maybe I'll just knock the music down just a little bit.
And why do you think that is, Samuel?
Well, maybe it's easier for Dr. Drain to blame Lord Luridus.
Correct, Samuel. A mild change in personality would be within Dr. Drain's control. Luridus is not, and therefore, Dr. Drain relinquishes control.
Like being addicted to the blood. Okay.
Prepare yourself, my friend. Let us find the darkness that lives within Dr. Drain.
Okay, so definitely blaming straight off the bat. Control fallacy. Always right. Labeling. Okay, tell you what, let's just save before we do this, because I'm always a bit worried that I'm gonna fuck this up. There we go. Cool.
Alright, I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Let's see if we can get this right.
Do not fear, Samuel. I shall not let Dr. Drain hurt you, no matter what he is calling himself. Do what you do best.
I will, buddy. Don't you worry.
I will, I promise. And here he comes, whoever he is today.
Okay, who's it gonna be?
Doc.
Hey, it's the Doc.
Somewhat taciturn today, then. Well, don't be upset with me. I did warn you about that beast. At least now you recognize the urgency in being rid of him. Perhaps now we can stop beating about the bush and actually fix my addiction problem.
I'm here to help, but if we're gonna lick this thing, we gotta do it honestly, and that means getting to the root of the problem.
I tire of this self-examination process. There must be something efficacious that I can do. Perhaps some sort of aversion therapy. I am willing to do whatever it takes to make that villain just go away.
Aha.
Then you gotta be willing to address the big old elephant in the room.
And what is that?
You're the same person.
You and Lord Luridus ain't two different people. You keep talking about him like he's someone else, but you both got the same brain in there.
Complete and utter nonsense. You've met him. We share absolutely nothing in common. And what's more, I am fully aware that he hates me. Take a look at this note he left on my desk.
That's supposed to be you there with the micro penis?
Okay, Twitch, no, okay. We started off strong with the micro penis. Wonderful.
Indeed. Juvenile humor, to be sure. Certainly nothing I would produce.
Alright, can you draw a better penis?
Ain't he got the same penis, though?
God fucking damn it.
Quite so. I have no doubt he does the most terrible things with it.
Wang shapes! Wang shapes go global.
So somehow he's got a different brain than you do, but the same penis. Something ain't adding up here, Doc.
You know, there's a joke about men in there somewhere, but I don't want to be that person, so we're not going there.
I resent what you are suggesting. I have no effect on what Lord Luridus does.
Dr. Drain seems to assign himself no responsibility at all for the actions of Lord...
I resent...
I know you're a pretty responsible fella, but you're giving Lord Luridus more credit than he deserves.
What on earth are you talking about?
You know that old stereotype mortals like to spread about us where we can't go into a place until we're invited?
A ludicrous idea with no basis in scientific truth.
Ain't you giving Lord Luridus your permission to come in and do what he does when you take that plasma stuff?
I didn't invite him in the first time. I had no idea what I had created. That his presence would become an addiction was not known to me.
Dr. Drain, you're a scientist. Your stock and trade is in facts, ain't it? Let's leave fault out of this for now. You gotta be my scientist here and stick to what we know.
Very well. Yes. The genesis of... Lord Luridus was in the actions and choices I took. Are you quite satisfied?
Doc, we ain't here for my satisfaction. Do you really think that?
Well, the fact that I am upset right now certainly lends credence to the idea that you are trying to shame me.
I won't lie to you, Doc. The people that Lord Luridus has hurt probably would have a bone to pick with you. But I ain't here to punish nobody. Well, that ain't the way to help you. In this room, we're working together. You're doing the hard work, and I'm just giving you support. Catch my drift, partner?
And so you do me even greater shame through kindness. I cannot win. Perhaps I should simply let that beast, Lord Luridus, have his way with me.
Come on now, Doc. You're jumping right to doom there. There are so many ways this therapy thing could go for you. It ain't we destroy Lord Luridus or Lord Luridus wins. Jumping right to catastrophe just ain't realistic. Already you're fighting him by being here. That means there's definitely something in the middle. And working together, we'll make things better. Maybe not completely better. This work ain't never done.
Of course, I am forgetting myself. I'm not usually prone to extremes. I shall attempt to be more mindful.
I ain't expecting you to be perfect, Doc. And I don't want you to expect perfection from yourself either. What I'm asking you for is self-compassion. That ain't erasing blame. It's just approaching yourself from a place of understanding. That's a scientific method, ain't it?
I doubt many in the scientific community would agree with such a statement, but I believe I understand the thrust of it. We cannot address facts if we mask them in emotionality.
That's exactly it, Doc. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Indeed. Thus my attempt to synthesize the thought properly.
Well, thank the dark powers that made us. Someone in here's the smart one.
Very well. We shall take a strategic, scientifically sound approach. We will agree upon facts, develop hypotheses, test and validate.
Yeah, actually, that is a method of doing this. It's what I had to do. Yeah.
If I rely on the science, I will never be wrong.
Hold on a sec. Before we jump in, Doc, I gotta challenge you. Even science ain't gonna make it certain you're always right. The answers science gives you might not be the answers that are best for you. I just want you to keep your mind open, all right?
That's very true. Just because you do the scientific method, it may not give you the answers that you want. In fact, it may give you completely different answers.
My mind is always open. I'm a scientist.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna reflect that back to you and see if you think that's true. You're saying being a scientist means your mind is always, without fail, open.
Well, suppose that sounds a bit ridiculous. Very well. I shall endeavor to ensure that my thinking is flexible.
Well, sounds good to me, compadre. Let's start assembling them facts. Can I ask you some questions then?
You may. Let us begin.
All right, so you told me that the thing that makes your plasma addicting is how good it makes you feel when you wake up from it. From your scientific perspective, what makes it feel good?
From a chemical perspective, good feelings, or positive emotions, are the result of neurotransmitter action. Considering the specific emotions felt in the immediate moment are contentment and satisfaction, it is certain that I am experiencing an oxytocin and dopamine release. It is a primal limbic response. In laboratory settings, we observe a constant drive in animals towards stimulating the release of amygdala-receptive neurotransmitters.
I think you're gonna need to boil that down for me, Doc.
I did not come here to teach, but so be it. Ask your questions.
Limbic
What's
system.
the limbic system do?
The limbic system functions as the emotional center of the brain, responsible for emotional responses such as joy, fear, and anger.
So it's like the part of my brain deciding if I should be scared of a rattlesnake or happy about a belly full of blood?
Precisely. It plays a crucial role in forming memories and making decisions based on emotional experiences. Often called the lizard brain, it's evolutionarily one of the older
that's
parts
what
of the
that
brain,
is. Right, okay.
indicating its fundamental role in regulating survival instincts.
I have to admit my biology is very, very basic.
I've been called lizard brain before, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't a compliment. What's this about neurotransmitters?
Neurotransmitters are chemical messengers that neurons use to communicate with each other. For example, social bonding reliably triggers a release of oxytocin, creating a sense of security and attachment.
So if I'm reading you right, when I'm feeling all snug after a good feed, is them oxytocin neurotransmitters doing their thing?
Exactly. This process is an integral part of our brain's reward system, encouraging behaviors that are perceived as beneficial for our survival and well-being.
Yep.
So survival feels good, basically.
Yes, though I would not publish such a statement in an academic paper.
So what's all this stuff really mean in the end, Doc? Why does this neurotransmitter stuff even matter?
An intriguing question. Naturally, emotion does not have a practical evolutionary application on its own. However, these emotions signal to the reptilian brain whether or not we are under threat.
Oh, well, dang, now I think we're getting somewhere. I think the answer's right in front of us.
Oh? And what is it that your rooting, tooting brain can synthesize that mine cannot?
Lord Luridus feels safer than Dr. Drain.
You don't feel safe on your own. Taking that plasma forces you to get that neurotransmitter hit.
An intriguing theory. However, evidence stands against it. Like it or not, I am a vampire. The only thing that may threaten me is the sun or a more powerful vampire. I should not be experiencing feelings of mortal danger.
There's them should statements again, Doc. It doesn't matter what logic says. You still got that part of your brain that says it's in danger, and that part doesn't care about logic.
An astute point, and an inconvenient one. That we should be saddled with such vestigial primal concerns is most unfortunate.
Can't avoid the fact that we still got them human concerns. At least we don't gotta poop, huh?
Oh dear, and you are doing so well. At least I have nothing to fear from you.
It's true, though. We're still animals, partner. We gotta satisfy the animal. Just not through pooping.
But we are immortal. Why do we have animal needs, fears, and emotions? What possible use do they have? It is such a disappointing notion, however, to think that we cannot transcend our reptilian brain, even when we are beyond death.
We're dealing in facts, though, and I think what we're coming to is that your reptilian brain doesn't feel safe.
Which is absolutely ridiculous, but I must admit that it is somehow true. Ugh, what a devastating revelation. Dr. Drain, for all his scientific achievement, is just an emotional little laboratory rat who bases all his decisions in fear.
Man, you just jump right to that extreme. You're probably the smartest fella I ever met, Doc. You ain't a science god, but who is? I think there's a lot of room between being a lab rat and being the perfect logical being.
You are, of course, correct. I'm letting my emotions get the better of me. Most unscientific.
Doc, I want to go back to one of them things I was telling you about in our first session, and that's self-compassion. Let's say you had some vampire apprentice, a scientist like you, who didn't know nothing like what you know, and said they were down on themselves for all the reasons you are. What would you say to them?
Well, I would explain that progress is non-linear. The scientific method, in fact, celebrates failure. That which does not conform to theory still informs theory.
That's very true. Of course, actually trying to live that out is somewhat difficult. I know.
Any chance you could put the scientist away and talk to their human side?
Well, I suppose I would say that it is fine, that all things are temporary, and the universe does not care to condemn them.
So how can we get you to say them things to yourself, Doc?
My situation is not the same. I was trained in the age of discovery. I bear the responsibility for that age. But if this project of mine, to create the blood that will sustain the world, is not what I am here for, then what is my purpose?
Yeah, here we go. We're getting into the crux of the matter again. Existentialism. What is my purpose? What is the purpose of life or unlife?
Well, let me ask you. What's the purpose of a gopher?
Rodentia, Geomedae. Rodents endemic to North America, known for their tunneling ability and as agricultural pests. I believe they are the prey of owls, snakes, and coyotes, and are omnivorous themselves, consuming vegetables, insects, and small mammals.
I wasn't expecting you to be so thorough. I don't think I knew half that stuff.
I have come to learn nearly everything there is to know about mammalian biology as a result of my research. Please get to the point.
Yeah, but what's the point of a gopher? That's all the descriptors of a gopher.
I think I forgot what it was now.
That is not encouraging.
Hold on a sec. I think I've got it. Gophers have a purpose. Driving people crazy, that's what. Used to wreak havoc on the farmland back in Missouri.
Absolutely ridiculous. That is not their purpose. It's an ill-informed anthropocentric philosophy defined and subscribed to entirely by said anthropocentrists.
I didn't know bugs could do that.
Anthropocentrists, not arthropods. Humans. Homo sapiens. I am saying that you have created a purpose for the gopher that the gopher is entirely unaware of.
So, who made your purpose, Dr. Drain?
What? Well, I did, I suppose.
Ha Boom Shankar!
So if you made it, you can change it, right?
But how can I change my purpose? I have always been a scientist. So that's what I am.
All right, Will. Let's take that scientific approach and try to figure out who the man behind the scientist is.
Very well. If we look at the behavior of our subject, myself, we can infer a few things. If we examine my behavior, one can draw a comparison to a threatened higher-thinking mammal. I spend much time in ensuring personal safety and security.
What about your more peaceful moments? What do they look like?
I believe these feelings are only medically induced through my special plasma. However, Dr. Drain appears to be at rest when he is full and satisfied.
And your synthetic blood doesn't do that for you.
I am forced to admit that at present, it does not.
Dr. Drain, what do you think of drinking something a little more fresh and human?
I will not. I do not have to. That depraved vampire, Lord Luridus, is the source of all that is base and vulgar about my person.
Doc, you're blaming Lord Luridus for something common to all vampires, including yourself. We need blood. That's just how it is. Ain't Lord Luridus's fault. Now, I know you ain't comfortable with that need, but you can't offload everything you ain't happy with onto Lord Luridus. That just makes him worse.
You have not been listening to me at all if you believe I have absolved myself of all vampiric frailty.
I didn't say that. I'm saying you're distancing yourself from your needs by saying they're Lord Luridus's needs. Well, what if you indulge Lord Luridus once in a while? Maybe you could keep him from coming out.
Do you not understand what I have been working toward for the last 400 years? I will finally be able to transcend this thing that I am. I shall be a parasite no more.
Come on, Dr. Drain, what you are ain't a parasite. Look what you've done with your time here.
Oh, forgive me for wanting to transcend the lifestyle of a female mosquito.
Well, heck, maybe you wouldn't be so keen to transcend if you didn't call yourself them names. We all gotta consume to live, Bronco. Ain't no such thing as a perpetual life machine.
I believe you are trying to invoke the first law of thermodynamics.
Yeah! Lisa, in this house, we follow the rules of thermodynamics!
Refresh my memory.
Energy cannot be destroyed or created in an isolated system. It can only be transformed.
Oh, yeah, that's basically what I'm saying.
Well, it is a salient point, I must admit.
Dr. Drain, we really gotta talk about some kind of middle path here. Back home, we tried the whole abstinence thing a few times, and it didn't go too well. We tried to stop drinking, and that just made people only do bad drinking. We tried telling teenagers sex was evil, and that just made them want it even more while being ashamed of themselves.
That's true.
What if you just tried to do some of them things Lord Luridus does? Just don't do them the way he does.
I find the idea utterly repellent.
Yeah, but then you go and take that plasma, and Lord Luridus makes the decisions. We don't want that, right?
Fine. Fine. I'll drink some blood. But I warn you, Sam, the price of failure is most dear. If I should lose my humanity, all of humanity will lose.
Doc, you really can't be putting the weight of the world on your shoulders. That ain't something you can control, compadre. Now, I know you're a capable fella, but the world is gonna turn with or without you.
You think so? I can't imagine someone with my highly rational mind feeling so strongly if my prediction weren't firmly rooted in fact.
I know it all seems real heavy right now. Just show yourself a little compassion and patience. Beating yourself up over a future that ain't happened yet isn't gonna help you. We need to go back to this thing I brought up before. You're a smart fella, Dr. Drain, but sometimes you're forgetting vampire commonality. We've all felt like the world was ending, or that we're awful monsters. But them feelings are our perceptions alone.
Yes, I'm aware. Perhaps I've been a little too human in my foibles.
Foibles!
However, you forget my training in history. I am not an average vampire. I was trained by the great Professor William Harvey.
Well, I have to admit, I don't know who that
I have
is.
had 4 centuries to unlock the secrets of animal biology. I have a duty to humanity and to my own legacy. A duty I should not fail in. Otherwise...
Hold your horses there, amigo. You say you've got a duty to humanity? Well, that ain't scientific at all. It ain't just anthropocentric, it's Dr. Drain-centric. Nobody said you had to do anything. Remember when we first started talking, I told you about them should statements? That's what you're doing, compadre. Just remember that them shoulds are yours.
Yes, I must be frustrating to you, Sam. I invoke the same delusions over and over again.
Hey, come on, Doc. You should be proud of yourself. You know what the difference is between you and vampires who never improve themselves? You're here. You've made a commitment to getting your head on straight. And you're getting there, my friend. Already you're making some big changes and investing in yourself. I can see it. So let's cut Dr. Drain a break. How about it, amigo? He doesn't need the weight of the world on him. There's only one thing he should do, and that's have a little understanding and empathy for himself. You get me?
Yes, I get you. Very well. I shall try to keep a clear head.
Actually, is this the voice of Stolas? I wonder. I might have to IMDb this later.
And I will arrange to drink some real blood. There's plenty of it in the lab. I shall just liberate some of it.
Good man. We'll talk about how it's gone next month, all right?
Indeed. Until then, Sam, and thank you for your patience.
Oh my god, he was humble!
I ain't got nothing but time, amigo. You can thank me by being patient with yourself.
All the same, you have my thanks. I shall see you in a few weeks then. Farewell.
Well done indeed, Samuel. I think we are starting to see a new version of the good doctor in the making.
I hope you're right, boss. That fella's awful hard on himself.
That is normal, my friend. Being a vampire takes a lot of self-acceptance. He is only taking his first steps in discovering this.
Yeah, fair enough. It took other people forgiving me for me to forgive myself.
And now you pass on this gift of compassion to Dr. Drain. Now, Samuel, the evening is still young. See what the night has to offer downstairs.
That sounds good, Andy.
Rest in peace, my friend.
Oh, that was a really good session.
I always come out of the doc sessions feeling dumber than ever. I'll check in with Crimson. She's always got some bartender's wisdom to share. Howdy, Crimson. Looks like a nice crowd tonight.
They're always a nice crowd, cowboy. We like to maintain an asshole-free zone.
Yeah, no dicks allowed. Reminds me of that Team America thing. Well, Chuck, you got your dicks, pussies, and assholes.
I'll try not to be an asshole then.
I'm not worried about you, cowboy. You had a session tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, with the doctor fella. We had a hard talk about what being a vampire means. He's having a hard time coming to terms with it, even after 400 years.
I can understand that. I've stopped aging for the last 20 years and don't know how I feel about it yet. How do you think it went with him?
I think we're finally getting somewhere, actually. It's funny, a lot of vampires forget they're human, but he keeps forgetting he's a vampire. But just like we can't opt out of being human, we can't opt out of being vampires either.
That's true.
Must have been a hard talk, cowboy. I sometimes wonder what I am. Staying the same age, drinking Andy's blood to live. Don't get me wrong, I like not being dead, but I still feel like I'm living on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Is this a good time to ask why you don't just join the dark side? It ain't that bad being dead.
I'm just not sure what I'd do with forever, you know? Eternity's a long time.
That's a fair enough thing, to be honest. That's the one thing I've never truly understood about, like, people. I think when you're younger, the whole idea of, like, living forever sounds really quite tempting. And you think, oh yeah, I could live forever, I will never die, I'll be able to see all these wonderful things. And technically speaking, you could see all those wonderful things. However, even, like, after a while, surely you might get bored. Right? Things tend to go in cycles. I mean, we're seeing it now, and we're seeing cycles going around quicker and quicker. Political cycles from right to left, left to right. Cycles in terms of gender politics, cycles in terms of social economic status, all kinds of things. And after a while, you start, you know, even in this, they say, you know, you start seeing long-term patterns. And with these long-term patterns, you know, after what, a 6th or 7th go around, and what, that's like 100 years, 200 years. Yeah, what would you do? What would you do with forever? That's a good question.
Yeah, I think a lot of us vampires can't answer that question either. And I don't think there's one answer anyway.
There you go. So I guess I'll keep putting off the question.
But nobody's rushing you, Crimson.
You think I'd let anyone? But thanks for listening, cowboy. Now why don't you go mingle?
Yeah, let's go mingle! Let's see if the sexy goths are back!
There's a new fella in the kink room who's very interested to meet you.
Ooh, we got a fella!
I guess I'll go be social then. Thanks, Crimson. Wait a sec, that ain't...
Greetings, my child.
Is this Matt Mercer again?
Keep your distance, amigo. I know our kind ain't had good history, but I ain't in the mood for an exorcism or nothing.
Oh, okay. He thinks he's a priest.
Ah, my child of the dark. If I were to exorcise you, nothing would be left when I was done. Only the good Lord is free of sin. We are all children of darkness.
That's Matt Mercer again.
Holy smokes, what Bible have you been reading?
I know my scripture, my son. However, I am by scripture and dark metal ordained, not by any church of man.
Ah, he's a metalhead. Of course he
So, you're some kind of freelance priest?
Yes, I suppose I am. It is the only way I can give succor to those who need it most.
So I gotta ask, seeing as we're in a kink room, what kind of sucker are we talking about?
I follow in the path of the Lord. I share my body, and I share my blood.
Oh, okay.
Ain't this a little blasphemous for your kind?
To whom, my child? God is in everything, including you, sweet vampire. Can God blaspheme against himself?
Okay, this is a cool priest. He's not quite a hot priest though, but, you know.
I merely wish to give comfort to those who live in darkness. And so, I choose to live in darkness with them.
So now we have sexy, Irish Matt Mercer vicar. Okay. Good God. So, Mr. Mercer, hi. Yeah, we just okay. So we got the techno goth, the techno German goth. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I'm down with it. Yeah, that's cool. How do you feel about is not quite hot priest, but Irish goth leather daddy priest vicar. I think vicar because vicar's funnier. How do you feel about that, Mr. Mercer? You're paying me? I'm assuming you're paying me. No, he's fucking awesome. Good God.
Come, my son. I shall give succor to you.
Well, all right. Maybe if you stop calling it that.
Okay. Oh, we get to play a priest. Oh my God. And whoop.
My son, I do not wish to meet the Lord already.
Whoops. Sorry.
Oh, shucks. I wasn't trying to kill you.
Okay. And yep. That was very pornographic.
Thou shalt not want, my son. Are you comforted?
Yeah, I guess I am.
I know those of my faith have hunted your kind. Perhaps we fear our own sin, so we
Oh
seek the sins
Christ!
of
I
others.
hope Medi doesn't fucking kill him. Oh God, no! Don't kill him! Don't kill him, Medi!
I seek only the Lord in everything, as do we all, whether we know it or not.
You ain't wrong, I suppose. Hey, a little awkward, but what's your name, fella?
I am Kieran. It means little dark one. The night always did call to me.
Well, Kieran, I'm Sam, and I appreciate the blood, but I'm gonna turn in. A little sleepy now.
Go with God, my child of the night.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
Definitely not quite the hot priest. Definitely not quite the hot
A fine
priest.
evening to you, Samuel. Are you ready for tonight's session with Signora Deste?
Deste, that's how you say her name. Deste. We'll get it right in the end.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're making some good progress.
Actually, I should probably. Yeah, we'll say. I was going to press F5. That's completely the wrong one. Save. Save here, yeah.
That is wonderful. Remember, though, that the road to inner peace is not a straight line.
True enough. I like to say I didn't make my path. Nature did.
Samuel, you have the makings of a poet.
But I didn't know it!
Oh, I meant it more literally. When I was walking in the woods, I just walked where the land led me.
But you see, this is a wonderful metaphor. If there is a valley between two mountains, that is the path nature takes us on. We often choose to climb the mountain instead when the easier path is made for us. Your experience guides your intuition more than you might expect, my friend.
Guess it's that peasant wisdom the Signora mentions.
Be careful with the labeling, my friend.
I didn't mean it in a bad way. I ain't ashamed of being a peasant. I'm just folks, as we like to say.
I can see why the Signora has become quite fond of you. Are you prepared for your session with her?
Yeah, I think with our progress, there might be some other distortions to focus on. Let me think.
Okay, definitely always right. Blaming, I think. Labeling. And maybe overgeneralization. I'm just gonna save again just in case. Yeah, we'll go over that. Why not? Confirm.
All right, locked and loaded.
The people of your country have so many colorful phrases having to do with firearms. I do not understand the obsession.
I can't explain it neither.
I shall leave you alone with the Signora, Samuel.
That's a very politically correct way of saying that. There she comes!
Howdy, Signora. Good to see you tonight.
You are looking forward to seeing me?
Well, sure I was. You're an interesting person, Signora. It's a privilege to get to know you.
I suppose you have learned something of manners yourself. I thought a lot about the things we talked about last time, you know.
Oh, yeah? What about exactly?
About how foolish I was for wasting my time for so long fighting against reality.
Now hold on, Senora. Maybe you were fighting reality some, but that doesn't mean you were wasting your time. That fighting with reality is just part of what makes you human. It's your experience, your journey that you're learning from.
But if the aim was to control my family, I failed to achieve that aim.
Yeah, but do you really want to control your family, though?
Yeah, but that's real all-or-nothing aim, Senora. It's easy to fail when the conditions for winning are so narrow, right?
Yes. You are, of course, correct. Would that I had listened to the simpletons in my life earlier.
Wait.
Maybe you can start by not calling them simpletons.
I meant it as a compliment. I wish I could be a simpleton.
I'm gonna need you to elaborate on that.
I mean what I say. Look at me, with my grand plans, my status, my dynasty, and all the pain that they have brought me. Who is the true fool, me or the simpleton?
I mean, the so-called, and I'm going to use air quotes, simpleton has their own problems and their own control fallacies of how they'd like their life to be. So, ignorance isn't always bliss.
Well, what if we're not fools or simpletons? What if we're just people being people? There's a lot of room between worms and gods, Senora.
Again, you prove your pastoral wisdom.
Well, I'm glad you've been doing some thinking. You were putting so much pressure on yourself to be the one keeping your family going. I can tell how much it was weighing on you.
I spent so long trying to fix them, trying to transform them into something that they were not. May I talk to you about my ex-husband, Sam?
Oh, okay.
Of course you can. I know he gave you a lot of grief.
He hurt me deeply, in so very many ways. He was the start of all my delusions because I thought I could fix him.
Oh, here we go. Oh no. You can't fix people. You really can't. That's a big fucking fallacy.
I thought Frankie was the way he was because I was not an ideal wife. That perhaps he would have been faithful if I had been as beautiful or fertile as a Medici. I know I have been arguing with reality, as you have said, but the idea of a fruitful marriage, sanctified by God, this was the only reality I had. But that reality did not match with mine. God could not have blessed both our marriage and riddled Frankie's penis with French diseases.
What is it with the penises this evening? So many penises.
French diseases?
We used to call syphilis the malfrance.
Oh dear.
Diseases don't belong to any nationality. You sound like a certain politician from back home.
Ha ha! Trump reference.
Do not insult me. Have I not suffered enough with my husband's disgusting malady? It was a painful lie to live. I could only conclude from my sorrow that God was testing me. Endlessly.
I want to challenge you on something there. That sounds like a kind of hopeless statement. Like you're doomed to keep being tested on God's terms.
Perhaps it was hopeless. As you said, Isabella d'Este and Francesco Gonzaga could not change their natures.
That's true, but here's the thing. Does that mean you were doomed, or were you just doomed on God's terms? I think this just needs a little reframing. I know you were dealt a rough hand, but doesn't necessarily mean you were being tested. Sometimes we just gotta make do with the hand we got. What I'm suggesting is that then and now, a radical acceptance approach could have helped you.
What do you mean?
You could have been polyamorous. You could have had a secret. You could have become a nun.
You could have become a nun, right? That would have been a way out of your situation.
Sam, you know me better than most at this point. Could I have been a nun?
Well, I guess you could have been the queen of the nuns.
That was not an available position.
Maybe it wouldn't have worked out then.
Could have had a secret
You could have
arrangement.
had some sort of secret arrangement. That was pretty common back then, right?
Oh, we did have a secret arrangement. The arrangement was that he kept secrets from me and I pretended not to know about them.
Had you ever considered talking about it?
I could not. You do not know what it was like back then. A woman, even one such as I, was always subject to her husband. I did not have a say in his affairs. I had to play the part of the good wife and mother. You must understand, I only earned my significant power by playing the societal game.
But he knew you were aware of his indiscretions, didn't he?
It was hard to deny when he approached me with that rotten thing between his legs.
So why not bring the issue out in the open?
He would have become angry, I am sure. Perhaps he would have beaten me and taken away the privileges I had worked so hard to earn. Perhaps it is pointless to tread over the past again and again. What has happened has happened. It has been nearly 5 centuries. I should not let the past haunt me so. If I am true, Sam, I am still very angry about all the lies I was told. I may be harboring some resentment.
No,
You don't say.
You will understand when I tell you of Frankie's greatest cruelty. I will tell you that the man, for all his fighting spirit, had very weak sperm, for he could not sprout a male seed in my womb.
Hold on, are you really blaming your husband's sperm for your having girls?
It could not have been my fault.
Senora, even I know it's just luck of the draw. I think you know that too.
Fine. Perhaps I just wanted to insult Frankie. But I will continue. My first child was a girl. I could not have been more embarrassed. Or so I thought, until I had my second child, who was also a girl. I will tell you, Sam, I was a young woman in mourning. I did not emerge from my chambers for weeks. The next time, finally, I had a boy, my beautiful Federico. He was such a charming child. He would entertain me so with his clownish behavior. May I show you a picture, Sam?
Well, sure, let's take a look.
Look at him.
Oh,
Isn't he beautiful?
oh my god, that kind of looks like my nephew.
He could have been a
Minus
movie
the long
star
hair.
or a model today, don't you think? Admit it, he is the most handsome boy who ever walked this cursed earth.
Well,
Why am I asking you? What do you know of beauty? Anyway, I gave all of myself to him. All my guidance, all my wisdom, and all of my love. Everyone said, you are doting on him. Give him some air. How dare they tell me my business? I am Isabella d'Este. I know what is right.
Senora, I'm sure you knew what was best for your son, but ain't it possible that those people might have been able to help you? It's lonely work when you feel like you can't listen to anyone else.
It's true. It takes a village to raise a child. Supposedly, I don't know. I can't actually comment on that, so just take that with a pinch of salt.
Are you telling me how I should have raised my son?
I got a better sense of self-preservation than that, Senora. But you gotta admit, this Nosferatu thinking of being always right is pretty exhausting, ain't it?
Oh, that is true. And as it turned out, pointless. It did not matter in the end. Frankie, in his supreme foolishness, managed to get himself captured by the French.
Oh.
He ransomed himself out of prison with something more precious than all the gold in Venezia, more valuable than the Pope's seat.
Oh shit, did he give him his son?
He sold my son.
Oh.
My beautiful Federico.
Dang. That must have been devastating, Senora. I can't imagine how painful that must have been.
No, you cannot. For you will never be a mother to a son so beautiful, so intelligent, and so pure. But that was not the end of my pain. It was not enough to take my son away. Not content to merely break me, the French, as always, needed to corrupt.
I have known fairly depraved people from every location on Earth. I believe the Signora is speaking.
Not content.
What do you mean the French always needed to corrupt?
They are a debauched people. I know what they are like.
Senora, you're too smart to judge an entire group of people based on an icky sample.
Okay, just to point out. Hi, people of France. You're cool, kind of. I mean, I'm British, so we've got a long history here, but like, I don't think you want to corrupt everyone.
You did that last time talking about the Spanish, and I called you out on it then too. Besides, we're vampires. What the hell does it mean to be French or Italian after a century? All the people that made France French back then are dead now.
Yes, of course I am aware. I speak out of anger and hurt.
I figured. But honest heads make for honest hearts, I like to say. What did the French do to your son?
They sent my sweet Federico to a den of filth, a place where chastity went to die, straight to the crossroads of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay, parry.
They sent him to the Vatican.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you've watched Father Ted, yeah, fair enough.
The Vatican? Seems like that'd be a pretty boring place for a boy to spend time.
Yeah, the Vatican's like, yeah.
This was Rodrigo Borgia's Vatican. It was a city of prostitutes and perverts, and he was their mayor.
Yeah, he was.
My poor Federico. He was a boy of a certain age. I could not have prepared him for the temptations he encountered. When he finally returned to me, he was no longer Isabella d'Este's child. He was the child of Francesco Gonzaga, an experienced whoremonger in his own right.
Hold on a sec. No longer your child? You can't think that's true. You raised that boy, and there's no way he could forget you. Maybe he got up to shenanigans out there in the Vatican, but you're only hurting yourself by erasing your influence on him. Now be honest. Did he lose everything you taught him?
No. He still had an appreciation of art, for which he had some taste. And he had some political acumen, I suppose.
I'm not saying you should forget what happened to your son. That would be pretty unrealistic. But give yourself some credit for the influence you had, huh?
You are kind, Sam. Thank you. But it is hard to forget the child who returned to me. I am a man now, mother, he would say. I do not have to listen to you.
I think it just sounds like he grew up, dude.
And indeed, he did not. Which is why he died of syphilis, just like his depraved father. He did not even have the courtesy to wait until I was dead. Now do you understand why I prefer the illusion of truth and beauty I tried to bring to art? My mother told me when my marriage was young, Isabella, you must pretend that all is as it should be. The truth is dark, but you must maintain your own.
I hate to say it, Senora, but I think your mama was spouting a few should statements of her own. Keeping up that illusion must have been draining.
That is why I tried to create my own illusions. If I depicted love and chastity in their ideal form, I could make that illusion come true.
Well, Senora, if anyone were strong enough to change the world's morality, it might be you. But I think you know the truth is that you don't have that kind of control. No one does.
Then why am I here, Sam? Why are any of us here? Are we here to eat, sleep, fornicate, and die?
I know a few folk who might say that's why we're here. It's one of them existential questions, ain't it? Here's my take, Senora. I think you're here to be you.
I certainly hope you have something more intelligent to contribute than that.
I don't really. Here's the thing, Senora. None of us is going to change the world overnight, or even in a millennium of nights. But our being here, being ourselves, swings the pendulum in a whole bunch of unknowable ways.
That is a dark interpretation of reality. Are we truly so powerless?
What I'm saying, Senora, is not that we're powerless. I'm just saying we ain't gonna change the world on our own. Not everyone's gonna buy what we're selling. But some people are gonna get it. People are still out there talking about the art you brought to the world. Maybe fellas like me don't know who you are, and I bet that nasty Pope from your time wasn't your biggest fan. But you can't help but be an influence on people. Just not all people. Ain't that so?
I do not know if that is enough for me, Sam.
Well, here's what I think we should do, Senora. All them efforts of yours are always facing outward. How about we spend some time on you?
What do you mean?
I mean, let's work on the things Isabella d'Este likes. Forget about the rest of the world. What are you putting in your art that's for you and not for anyone else? Is it a little embarrassing?
Hush. If you must know, it is centaurs. I like centaurs.
She likes the half-horsey folk.
Hey, I ain't gonna judge. Sometimes I like horses better than people too.
Yes, well, they are pleasing to look at.
Now, how about this then? Why don't you pick up a brush and paint yourself up a centaur?
I have not attempted to paint for centuries.
This is just for you, Senora. No expectations. How's that sound?
I cannot believe I revealed this thing to you.
I'm glad you did. I'm a lucky fella. I get to know an Isabella d'Este no one else knows.
And no one else will know, or I will make you suffer. Capiche?
You got a deal, Senora. I'm here to be supportive, that's all. I hope that when you come back next month, we'll be having a nice conversation about you finding your muse.
Yes, perhaps. Very well, Sam. I do not understand your ways, but I cannot deny you have a certain untamed wisdom. I shall attempt to paint a centaur. This is not what I expected from therapy, but I shall do as you suggest.
I want to bet that she paints a centaur that looks like Sam. I reckon she's going to paint a cowboy centaur. And she's going to be like, "Ah, Sam, I have got you a present."
I shall see you in 4 weeks then. Arrivederci, Sam.
Oh yeah, see you soon, Senora. Arrivederci.
Goodbye.
Well, well, Samuel, you never cease to impress. Centaurs.
I don't think you're supposed to know about that, boss.
I am 3,000 years old, my friend. Horse people are somewhere at the very tip of my kinky iceberg. It is already forgotten.
It's too much. It's too much.
Well, the Senora's pretty embarrassed about it, so I'd appreciate it if you kept it to yourself.
Senora d'Este is wise to put her faith in you, Samuel. I will gently remind you that relationships between therapists and clients are highly discouraged.
Oh, come on, Andy. It ain't like that. Senora d'Este is just... You're messing with me.
Yeah, he is.
Of course I am. Unless...
All right, you know what? I'm going downstairs. I could use a drink.
Well earned, Samuel. Please, rest in peace.
Andy's a bastard. That went really well.
Poor Senora. That lady's holding on to a lot of anger. Reminds me of myself as a young vampire. Pretty hot in here tonight. I think I'll get some air. Maybe I can get to know Bert a little better.
Yeah, let's go talk to
Bert.
Bert.
How's the crowd tonight? Same old, huh? So, summers sure are warm these days, huh? Bet Europe was a lot colder in your time. You think the infinite dawn will happen in our unlifetimes? Oh, that's what some vampire climatologists say. I don't know. I figure we can still do something about it. I know it's easy to get disillusioned, but get your chin up. It's been nice talking to you, Bert. I'm gonna head inside.
Have fun, mate.
We love Bert.
Hey, Crimson, how's the crowd?
Hey, cowboy. Bit busy tonight, but how'd your session go?
It went fucking awesome.
Now, I think this lady's starting to realize what she can't control, which is a lot. She's still mad as hell about it, but I think we're getting closer to acceptance.
I know how she feels, cowboy. I feel like I wasted years of my life in D.C. trying to make the world a better place. But it sounds like you are making progress to me. She's got time to make her peace. That's what Andy says about you vampires.
Yep, that's true. We can take 40 years or 400, but that's up to us.
In the meantime, I'll whip something up for a hot summer night.
What's this now?
Blood margarita. Figured a hot-blooded desperado like you could use something cold.
Oh, mighty kind of you, Crimson. I'll let you get back to work and take this up to my coffin for a quiet night.
Night, Sam.
Now let's see, what'll help me reflect on the night? I think there's something Omar Khayyam once wrote that I can look up. Or I could watch Buster Keaton almost get himself killed a bunch.
Alright, let's read some poetry.
One of my transcendentalist friends told me about this one. I ain't too good with poetry, but this piece always stuck with me. The moving finger writes, and having writ, moves on. Nor all thy piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all thy tears wash a word out of it. Funny how people in far-off places and times always had some similar perspectives. Omar's right. You can't change the past. Life moves forward. I think that's enough for one night. Better get me some shut-eye. Got the feeling my work's gonna get harder before it gets easier.
It's true.
My dear Samuel,
Oh,
greetings.
checkpoint save.
How are you feeling tonight?
Okay, we're gonna save. I'm gonna save here. There we go. Cool. Actually, whilst we're at it, I'm just gonna have a quick sniffy doo doo. That's fine. I'm enjoying it. If people want to watch, they can watch. It's all good. Okay. On me. I'm feeling fucking awesome,
Honestly,
Andy.
I'm feeling a little like a horse who's about to be ridden by a big old fella.
Phrasing.
I am not certain I comprehend your meaning. Have you met a special someone, my friend?
What? No, it ain't that. I mean, I'm feeling a little on edge. Edmund's coming in.
Aha, our actor friend. What about him has you nervous, Sam?
Oh, he made that videotape. Oh, shit. Oh, Lord, this could be interesting.
He's just a lot to deal with. I find myself a little drained after our sessions.
Ah, yes. Challenging the reality distortion fields of those with narcissistic tendencies is taxing.
I know, but if I'm here doing this therapist thing, I should help him one way or another.
Ah, remember your own distortions. You are under no obligation to help Edmund. If helping him drains you, remember that you do not have to aid him.
Yeah, you're right. I still want to try, though. I want to see if I can help him.
I shall not stand in your way then. Have you an idea of what distortions he might be exhibiting tonight?
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Right. Mind reading, definitely. Blaming, control fallacy. Actually, maybe not. Not mind reading. Labeling for sure. I guess I'm disqualifying the positive.
I think that should cover it.
I wish you peace and patience.
Thanks, Andy. Edmund, amigo, how's it hanging?
To the left and most proudly, my dear boy.
Penis jokes! It's just nothing but penis jokes tonight.
Indeed, tonight I sit before you victorious. Thy gentle prodding hath guided me back to the womb of creation.
Fucking hell, he doesn't have to go on a bit.
Do I want you to spell that out for me?
The stage, good sir, the stage. For if all the world's a stage, then the stage is where humanity is born.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, I guess that must be true. So what are you saying? You nabbed some kind of juicy role?
Not just any role. Nay, I have been given the opportunity to once again subvert the audience's expectations.
Okay.
Though it was thy tender words that cleared the mists of doubt from my mind and reminded me that I belong to the stage, not to the audience.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Eddie. Tell me all about it.
Do you remember the advice you gave me when last we met?
I told you to film yourself doing some acting, right? How'd that go?
I did as you suggested. I set up a camera, and for no one but myself, I became the Dane.
Marmaduke?
Hamlet, dude.
Hamlet, my dear boy, Hamlet. I watched the great Edmund Kean inhabit the bard's greatest role once again, and in him I saw humanity pure, naked, and true. It was akin to pornography, albeit far more revealing. That Edmund Kean, I told myself, he and only he could produce something so beautiful. Edmund's belief that he is the center of the world is persistent, isn't it, Sam? It was a...
Wait just a minute there, Eddie. You're an incredible actor. Everyone agrees on that. But it's a big world out there, and everyone's got their own experiences. We all got capacity to do incredible things. It's a combination of luck, perseverance, and being in the right place at the right time. You ain't a great actor because you're Edmund Kean. You're a great actor because of the things that made you Edmund Kean.
You toy with the fates and flirt with pedantry, my dear boy. Oh, it is oft said that an infinite number of monkeys with an infinite number of typewriters at infinite time could produce all the works of Shakespeare, but such a thing is infinitely unlikely. If you will permit me to continue, to watch myself act without an audience was simply rapturous.
Oh dear, I think this guy might be a failure. I think this may be the one that Sam goes, you know what? I put my hands up, I want to help you, but I don't think I can.
I am not ashamed to admit that I did weep. I wept for the stage, that I deprived it of my greatness on account of my own misplaced dread. I have been a cream-faced loon, a devout coward, and most religious in it. Why should...
Whoa, slow down there, Eddie. I don't know what the heck a cream-faced loon might be, but it don't sound too good. Think about the Edmund that showed up here 2 months ago. If I had hurled a bunch of insults at him, would that have motivated him in any way?
I suppose not. That lily-livered boy was not ready for the weight of truth. You were wise indeed to treat him gently.
That boy's you, Eddie. He's still in there, so be nice to him, all right?
Very well. Honeyed words entrap sweeter prey, do they not? You spoke truly. Edmund Kean bared his chest to all the slings and arrows of an unappreciative audience and was somehow surprised when they hit their mark. The Edmund Kean that you see before you is armored in love of the craft that no arrow may penetrate, and so casts aside the cloak of cowardice.
I mean, okay, so this is too fucking close to the bone. So you filmed yourself, you think it's all good, but it hasn't actually performed in front of an audience.
To think, I feared mortal directors. I feared the audition and the criticism that would come afterward. I feared the cast list, bereft of Edmund Kean. But to you I give thanks. For can a mortal director know my brilliance? Nay, they're all clay-brained guts and mouldy rope.
Hey, what's that labeling doing for you? If you don't respect directors, why do you think they're going to respect you?
Because I'm worthy of respect. I create. They merely push the chess pieces on the board.
Fucking hell. There's confidence, and then there's this.
You know, my old buddy John used to say, respect given is respect earned. Maybe them directors would be bigger fans of yours if you didn't call them names.
Perhaps 'tis so. But they should know my value. I know in my damned soul that the stage is worse off without Edmund Kean, and nothing any mortal director can say will disabuse me of this. Ergo, I did ask myself, Edmund, What is an audition? Is it a trial to overcome? Is a director a god dispensing holy judgment? And I replied, Edmund, do not ask such foolish questions, the answers to which thou knowest well. An audition, my dear boy, is not an opportunity, but an invitation to display the craft before another.
I mean, I guess.
So I told myself, why not act, dear boy? And so I did.
So you did an audition, all right, that's great. Did you have fun with it?
You speak so simply, my friend. Fun does not adequately describe the feeling one has when the muse takes over. It is transcendence, an affirmation of purpose, to condense humanity within oneself, if only for a moment. It is an orgasmic experience.
Okay.
That sounds intense, Eddie. Having an orgasm in front of someone else is pretty brave.
Oh, but it is freeing. A true actor hides nothing.
So many comments I could make.
The director, she told me she had never witnessed such a thing in all her years, few as they were. I am certain that she thought to herself, is this Dionysus reborn? Why have the fates graced mine eyes with such depth of the human spirit? This time, my friend, I did not have to wait for a cast list at all. You are looking at a leading man once more.
Hey, congratulations, Eddie. That's great. See, I knew you'd get your mojo back if you remembered what made you love the stage in the first place.
For this, I am eternally grateful, and indeed, I do have an eternity to be grateful. Now I can already hear the calls resounding through the theater. Keen, 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 give us Keen!
You may want to pick a different name.
Nonsense! They will say Edmund Keene has returned and be none the wiser as to the accuracy of their statement.
So what's the big role, Eddie?
Okay, place your bets. Is it pantomime? Is it porn? Is it a telenovela? Is it Hollyoaks? Yeah, is it soap? It might be soap. I've got a feeling it's got to be soap. Or it could be pantomime, actually. Or it could be a puppet show. I don't know. Oh, there's something's going to be a fucking joke. Or maybe it's like the Tower of London haunting. Okay, place your bets. What do you reckon?
Ah, we get to the meat of it. Unto the very sinew at last. They say that every story is a circle, that we return whence we came. So it is with me.
Okay.
'Twas tragedy that made me, tragedy that formed me, tragedy that raised me to glory, and tragedy that shall do so once more.
Is he playing a corpse in Casualty?
I shall play the part of Piero. Piero, the clown who cried. Piero, the mask of the tragedy that is life.
Okay. Oh, is he in a circus?
I ain't familiar.
I believe you are, though you know a far inferior version. The one made famous by that ludicrous creature, Grimaldi.
Grimaldi who?
Splud, my dear boy. Do you know nothing of late 18th century English theatre?
Surprisingly no.
They must have skipped that subject in frontier school.
Grimaldi was the other influential actor in London.
Is this... Hang on a minute. I don't know much of acting because I stopped doing drama and stuff like that when I was just before GCSE. Back in the day when you used to have A's, B's and C's and A stars and all that shit. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4... Well, I don't understand that at all, I'm sorry. Grimaldi... Who is it? The one with the stuff that Neil Newborn was inspired by for some of the physicality of Astarion. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. Someone's going to tell me. Someone in the comments tell me. If you're watching this, tell me. Fucking tell me, because I'm intrigued.
But whereas I drew out the soul and laid it bare on stage, Grimaldi, in comparison, was a clown, a jester, a funny man.
Fuck you, comedy's awesome.
Now hold on there, Eddie. People have written plenty about what a great actor you are. Giving another actor nasty labels don't look good on you. They probably ain't accurate either.
Oh, but my dear boy, Grimaldi was as the moon amidst the stars of jest, by whose pale light all subsequent mirth is but a reflection. He was the clown. So as you see, I cannot label one already so anointed.
Oh, in that case, label away.
Grimaldi was an artist, like myself. But where my canvas was
Defended
the
a
soul,
clown who didn't need
his
help.
was the latrine. When I strode upon the stage, my audience saw all the acts of life play out, in all their woe and joy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, but Joey Grimaldi, the great clown himself, could create bottom noises with his armpit.
Look, okay. Kids, drama kids, theatre kids. Here's the gist, physicist. There is a fucking fine line between comedy and tragedy. And you know what? There are so many comedic actors out there who are amazing in drama, who are amazing in Shakespeare, who are amazing in political thrillers, psychological dramas. You would not fucking believe. Rick Mayall was actually really, really good in some dramatic roles. Yes, he was an amazing clown. He could do physical comedy like nobody's business, but there is if you can go and find it, it's still floating around somewhere, either on iPlayer or possibly on YouTube. It's called Murder Rooms, and it's supposed to be, it's very loosely based on Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, his years before he wrote Sherlock Holmes, and the whole idea is that he's the Watson to his mentor's Sherlock, and they meet a man who is a detective in his own right. I believe he's a detective who happens to be played by Rick Mayall, and it turns out that he's a lot more than he's saying, and it's so clever, and he's got this very calm, eerie demeanor, friendly, but with a hint of danger, with a hint of, you can tell this man is like really dangerous. And he was really good. I mean, look at Will Ferrell. He can do amazingly wonderful dramatic stuff as well as bawdy comedy. Brenda Blessing, fantastic comedic actress. Judy Walters, the dearly missed Robin Williams, an amazing comic, a fantastic stand-up performer. My God, just absolutely amazing. But Good Will Hunting, holy shit, breaks my heart every time when he talks about losing his wife and all the little things that he misses about her, including the fact that she used to wake herself up by farting. All these great performances. So when you get someone like this going, oh well, he was a clown and I was an actor, it's like, fuck you, buddy. Do you know how hard it is to actually land a joke, to actually be consistently funny? It is fucking difficult. Sorry, that was my little rant.
Yet whose name was on the lips of the adoring public? Not Keane's, no. Not the bard's emissary. Give us the farting clown, they cried. Give us Grimaldi. So you see, my dear boy, for me to play the tragic clown Piero, this is my opportunity to take what Grimaldi stole from me.
Calm down.
What did he steal?
He stole my audience.
Eddie, from what you've told me, I don't think you and this Grimaldi fella had the same audience. I don't think anyone showing up for a farting clown show and getting Edmund Keane is going to be too happy, and it'd have nothing to do with you.
But if Grimaldi had not peddled his base filth, my audience would not have waned when it did. They would have been mine.
Eddie, I think you're blaming Grimaldi for something that wasn't in his control. Was Grimaldi really trying to steal your audience, or was he just selling something they were buying?
Of course he was jealous. Why would he not be? If I were a middling actor and saw a young genius rising in the ranks of the Thespian Order, I would be much afeard of him.
Maybe Grimaldi was doing his own thing because he liked doing it, which is just what I've been encouraging you to do.
Tilly-fally! I said he was a clown, not lacking eyes and ears. Of course he was threatened by me.
You know what? I probably should have picked mind reading for this.
But you said yourself that he had his own style that wasn't anything like yours.
He was a thief and a fool. If not for his cheap entertainment, I would have had the whole of London hanging on my every word.
And if the sun didn't shine, we could go out during the day. Come on, Eddie, the world ain't waiting on you. Grimaldi had his audience and you had yours. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Perhaps, though I weep bitter tears to think the people so base. And I weep for myself, my dear boy.
Dear fucking God in Himmel.
The riches and fame he received should have been mine, and would have been, had the fates not cursed me with his birth. Watch out, Samuel. I think you're losing him. Edmund truly cannot see a universe without
The fates cursed you with Grimaldi's birth? I don't think baby Grimaldi was thinking too much about you, my friend.
Well, no, he wasn't. He was 11 years my senior.
Oh, okay.
So maybe he was cursed with your birth then.
You delight in making me play the part of the fool, don't you?
The point I'm trying to make is that making things about Grimaldi versus Keene ain't doing you any favors.
There is some truth in your words. Why should I lower myself to his level? I am no flatulent jester. I am Edmund Keene. And mark my words, my boy. I shall cast Joseph Grimaldi from the Thespian Order. When I play Piero the Clown, Wikipedia shall forget all about that fool.
Just a sec there, Eddie. If Grimaldi is just a fool, you ain't taking his influence seriously. Reductive labels ain't gonna do much for you, compadre.
Your words hold a mote of wisdom. Very well. I shall redouble my efforts to ensure my audience knows Grimaldi was a mere fool.
Oh, now come on, that's not nice.
You see, my dear boy, I have already calculated my triumphant return to the stage.
Oh, God.
Every move, every word, every expression shall be unassailable. You see, Edmund Keene is never wrong about matters of character.
Eddie, I ain't doubting that you're a master of your trade.
Croft!
Croft. But you can only control your own actions. You can't control how people react to them.
Why do you lay these troubles upon a mind finally untroubled? The stage awaits me, dear boy. Doubt is a poor companion for the thespian's journey I now embark upon.
I ain't trying to mess with your head, hombre. I'm just trying to prepare you to accept whatever response you get.
Then why not prepare me for glory? Why not prepare me for the perils of fame and admiration?
Fucking hell.
Indeed, I doubt our meetings will be necessary any longer. I must confess to some strong misgivings about you, therapist. There are times when we speak that I feel exposed, diminutive, and weak, and I can only conclude from those feelings that you are trying to hurt me.
It is no surprise that Edmund sees his feelings reflected in the world when he is...
There are times when we...
It is no surprise that Edmund sees his feelings reflected in the world when he is at the center of the world.
There are times when we speak that I feel exposed, diminutive, and weak.
It is no surprise that Edmund sees his feelings reflected...
There are times when we speak that I...
It is no surprise...
There are times...
Now, come on, Eddie. I think you can come away from our experience with a few positives. Maybe I ain't all you'd hope for, but I don't want you throwing out the good work we've done. You got some new perspectives that I think are going to be a real help to you.
Oh, very well, therapist. You have your uses, I concede. But I hold your oath of healing fulfilled.
I'm still here for you, Eddie.
Regardless, opening night is a month from now. I doubt you shall see me again, for I shall not need your services. The public thought they knew what a clown was. In a month's time,
They will forget Grimaldi and Bozo, and only Keen's clown will remain.
Yeah, you might not like that.
Therefore, why shall I need you? When I have the public's love that I am due, what need will I have for a therapist?
Probably a lot.
Hey, if you don't need me, I'm happy. There's lots of folks who can use my help.
I was hoping you would lament my loss more than that.
Of course I'd miss you, Eddie. You're as interesting a fella as they come. But if you don't need me, I've done my job pretty well.
Yes, well, I must admit, your suggestion of filming myself was rather brilliant, and I do owe you my thanks.
Holy fuck, we got a thanks.
Do you have any final words of wisdom for me then, dear boy? Theatre has lost its popularity because of my absence. When the public takes notice of Edmund Keene once again, how might I prepare myself?
Once again, Edmund believes the world is
Theatre?
I just want to remind you, Eddie, that even if you give the greatest performance of all time, people ain't waiting for you. Think about how you felt when you were acting for yourself and not for the audience. Your most important audience member is you, compadre.
Ever the nemesis of mirth art thou, Sam Walls. But there is a little wisdom in what you speak. I shall remember Edmund Keene. I suppose, then, that this is goodbye, dear boy.
You sure you don't want me to keep your session slot open for next month?
There is no need. As you are so eager to help others, please do so, and worry not for Edmund Keene.
Tell you what, I'll keep it open just this once. I'll take the night off if you don't show up. Sound good?
Then I beg you enjoy a night of simple peace. You shall not see me.
I think we might.
I give you thanks. And please, send me a V-mail. I shall arrange theatre tickets for you if you are ever in London.
I'll do that, Eddie. You take care of yourself, you hear?
I shall be Edmund Keene's greatest advocate. Farewell, therapist. May fortune favor you as it has me.
Adios, Eddie.
Well, Samuel, it seems you are down one client.
Yeah, I guess so. If he thinks he doesn't need me, I guess I'm doing something right.
You are unsure.
I don't know, Andy. I think that fella's got some more work to do, but he ain't ready to do it yet.
I believe you are correct, Samuel. I did warn you that this was likely to happen with our dear Edmund Keene. Do not consider it a failure of yours. Remember that we are all on our own journeys, and some of us need a little extra time to reach the next stage of that journey. Or in my case, a few thousand years. We cannot control the mind of any other.
Yeah, I suppose that's the way it's gotta be.
Go downstairs and have a drink to fate's whimsical turns. It is that which we cannot control that makes the world so rich and interesting.
All right, Andy, that sounds good right about now.
Go then, my friend. The night awaits. Rest in peace.
Poor Sam. But I reckon Edmund's gonna be back.
Well, that was a weird one. I guess it always is with Edmund. Half the time I can't make heads or tails of what that feller's saying.
I should really read these some more. Yeah, I think he's gonna be back.
I'll go check in with Crimson and see if she's got any of her wisdom to share. How we doing tonight, Crimson?
The drinks are flowing and the blood's pumping. Can't ask for more than that. How are you, Sam?
Well, I had my first client graduate. They quit therapy today.
Congratulations, cowboy. Helped a vampire see the light, huh? How do you feel about it?
You know what? I'm gonna say poorly for the first time.
I swear this fella's just doubling down on the stuff that's making him unbalanced. He thinks he's gonna make the whole world admire him. I'm afraid he ain't nearly born enough for mass appeal.
Sorry to hear it, Sam. I'm sure he must have gotten something out of talking to you, though.
Well, even if not everyone loves what he's doing, at least he's doing what he loves.
Hey, I'd call that a win, cowboy. Not everyone gets to do what they love.
Sounds like you got some feelings about that.
All right, I'm gonna let you in on a big, dark secret. Maybe even darker than the fact that I drink blood.
I'll hold it with high honor, Crimson.
I liked being a lawyer.
Oh, you're right. That is dark.
Oh, shut up. I was good, Sam. I fought the good fight, and I knew case law like the back of my hand.
Hey man, there's nothing wrong in being a lawyer, technically speaking.
The law just moved too slowly for me in the end, and getting cancer made it seem meaningless. Now, I love this place, and I love Andy, but I know I wasn't born to bartend.
Couldn't you practice law in Germany?
You try learning German and tell me how it goes, Desperado.
Oh, come on. It ain't that hard. I've picked up some German already. Ich spreche Deutsch good.
Hold me, Maxie. The cowboy is being once again too cute.
Yay! It's the Germans!
Cowboy, komm, vi sa and we will teach you how to speak sehr good Deutsch.
Yeah!
I think I hear my dinner calling. I'll talk to you later, Crimson.
Be gentle with him, you two.
Now we will teach you the German that is most important for you to know.
Oh no. Okay, anyone who knows German, this is gonna... This could be bad.
It is important to ask politely when you wish to drink from someone's neck.
Okay.
Tell them, your neck is beautiful. May I drink from it?
Ihr Hals ist wunderschön. Darf ich von Ihnen trinken?
Ihr Haus ist wunderschön. Darf ich von... Innen trinken? Oh god, no. No! It's been a long time since I did German.
Now ask Reinhard if he will let you drink from his neck.
It is very important to get the declensions correct in German.
Ihr Hals ist wunderschön. Darf ich von Ihnen trinken?
Sehr gut, mein Schnittchen. Ja, wunderbar. Du kannst gerne von meinem Haus trinken.
Hey! Okay. Ellie... Yep.
I sense you are nervous. Shall I guide you, mein Liebling?
Shucks, I can do it myself.
Yep.
Oh, Maxie. Now I'm feeling very disoriented and euphoric. Oh, so I've done many club drugs.
Oh, we don't do club drugs
I
here.
will take you home, Knutkugel. Now what do you say, cowboy?
Oh, Dankeschön.
Dankeschön, sexy. We must practice together, so. I must take this hot little man home now. Tschüss, tschüss.
Oh, yeah, see you later, you two. Well, it's about time for some shut-eye anyway.
We had a German lesson! Hooray!
Good evening, Samuel. I believe you are seeing your elder vampire tonight.
That's right. I hope she's making some progress. Well, the world sure did a number on that lady.
Right, I'm gonna save real quick.
I am hopeful. One does not live so long without being very resilient.
Oh, Medi.
I have had a number of near-final death incidents myself, and I had been trained to fight since childhood.
That's true. She's clearly got a few tricks up her sleeve. I don't even know how she plays them 3D video games.
Based on her last session, you probably have some idea of her current concerns. Would you like to prepare your distortions?
Yeah, I guess I'd better do that. Now, let's see.
Overgeneralization. Control fallacy. Mind reading. Disqualifying the positive. Labeling.
All right, I think I've got what I need.
Very good, Samuel. I shall leave you. I believe I hear the flapping of ancient wings.
Greetings, my most favorite mouse.
Good to see you, matey. How's this month been for you?
Oh, it's been ever so tiring. My glitch channel hit 100 million followers. and they are all very hungry for content.
What do you mean by content? Is it like making a TV show?
No, silly mouse. Do you know how we're hungry for blood all the time? Mortals are like that too, but for content. It means constantly putting up new things on the internet. They don't get content, they get frightfully bored.
You only...
I can see why that'd be exhausting.
It's alright, silly cowboy. It can be very nice. They're always very excited to see me. And they give me ever so much money. I don't know what to do with it all.
Well, sounds to me like you can afford to take a break, huh? Did you take that day off like you promised?
I did. I didn't like it very much.
I'm sorry to hear that, Maddie. What was bad about it?
It was very quiet. It was just me, alone, with no one to talk to but the voices in my head. Those voices are very unkind.
What do they say?
They say, Maddie, you're being a very naughty vampire. You should respond to your zealots. You should be planning your content.
You ain't a naughty vampire, Maddie. You're who you are. Labeling yourself ain't gonna help you none.
Maybe I should have had the should statement.
You call yourself names and you're just gonna build up fear of being a naughty vampire, whatever the heck that is.
It's for my own good, sweet mouseling. You don't know how people on the internet can be.
Yeah, I gotta confess, I got almost no idea what you're talking about. I didn't get much past female.
I don't know what I'd do without the internet. I'd probably be a pile of ashes. Or maybe a desiccated, bloodless corpse.
Medi survived for nearly 2 millennia with...
I don't know what I'd do without the internet. I'd probably be a pile of ash.
Well, that's some pretty extreme thinking there, miss. You've lived without the internet for a real long time. I don't know why you'd turn into a desiccated corpse without it.
I suppose I could live without it for a little while. But, you know, I don't belong here in this world, right, little mouse?
No, I don't know that. That's that extreme thinking again. There ain't no such thing as belonging perfectly, and there's a lot of space between thriving and being dead. I mean, look at us. We're both alive and dead, so I think we do a pretty good job of proving extremes not to be true.
Yes. I suppose you must be right. We're very bad at staying still like proper dead people.
I gotta ask, how'd you get so good at all this internet stuff anyway? I can't keep up with all this modern technology.
Well, back in the before times, I didn't need the internet very much. I used to live in the wilds where no one knew to look for me. If any silly mortals came to visit me, I would eat them. And if no one came to visit, I could go hunting for them on my own. But now there aren't any wilds. Now there are motorways and nasty machines. Now there are suburbs and shopping centers.
So what did you do when the wilds went away?
I moved into the city, but I never liked it very much. People were very upset at me for being able to come out only at night. They started to whisper that I was a witch. I know what mortals like to do to witches. Pop goes the eyeball.
Oh, right, yeah. Funny. So, how'd you manage?
Well, I found out I could get mortals to do things for me. In exchange for a peek at my naughty bits, and for their miserable little insect lives, they would clean up after all my messes. Realised that mortals only ever wanted one of two things from me. To kill me, or to do sexual things with me. As long as they think they can have a chance of sexual things, I can control them.
I think you're shooting fish in a real small barrel there, miss. You're judging mortals based on your experience, but there are about 8 billion of them out there. There are mortals who hate killing, and hate sex, or don't even care about either of those things. Some of them just want to watch TV and they're happy with that.
That's me!
Those are even more disgusting.
Oh, fuck you.
Because they are cowards and liars. Most of my best friends over the last millennia have been insects. Do you know why, little mouse?
Oh, why don't you tell me?
Insects never lie. They kill, they eat, and they make babies. Sometimes they eat their babies. They don't pretend to be intelligent and chivalrous. They just are. They never surprise me. That's why I don't let mortals surprise me either. If they were honest, they would eat their babies too.
Maybe half a baby, if I was really hungry.
Well, that conversation took a kind of dark turn, but I think I get what you mean about not letting mortals surprise you. You're protecting yourself, and that's a sensible thing to do. That being said, you seem pretty convinced that danger is a sure thing.
That's right. If I let myself feel safe, that's when they'll come for me. Well, my devoted little perverts were very helpful, but they had a very nasty habit of getting caught disposing of bodies. Policemen would shoot them into little bloody giblets. I don't like policemen very much.
I haven't had a good track record with lawmen either.
That's why I don't use them as my helpers. I can't trust them not to take their guns out and go, pow, pow, blam, 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 blam. Ugh, oh, I'm dying. My guts are falling out. Oh, why, policemen? Why? Ugh.
But in the UK, we don't have that many guns, so unless your followers were, like, armed to the teeth as well, like... Well, not anymore. I think if you're going back into, like, you know, Life on Mars territory, they were supposed to have handguns and shit, but very rarely.
Anyway, if my blood bags died, it would mean I couldn't get a fresh supply of blood without doing very risky things. I realised that the more blood bags I had, the safer I'd be. That's why when I found out about the internet, I knew I had to get online.
I guess that makes some kind of sense.
Oh, it was so exciting though, little mouse. All of a sudden, I could make people do whatever I wanted without having to leave my flat at all. I had so many fans, and they would disappear, but then they would be replaced by even more. Just like insects.
Oh, wow, okay. I'd like to point out that people who view my channel, I do not view you as insects. I'd like to point that out right now.
It was very easy back then. All you had to do was say you were a girl and the grabby little grubs would come out of their holes. Ah, we want vaginas.
Just taking a screenshot for no reason.
So I ain't exactly gonna defend how menfolk act on the internet, but going back to what we were saying before, using these funny labels of yours probably makes it easier to fall into the overgeneralization trap. If you label people on the internet grabby grubs, well, that's all you're gonna find, know what I mean?
Sometimes I think maybe you're a fun vampire. You take all the fun and go...
I ain't trying to ruin your fun, Betty. Just asking you to think about the words you use and why you might be using them.
But then people realized they could say that they were anything on the internet. It was all like a big game. And what do you suppose I said I was, little mouse?
Did you say you were a fella?
No, that wouldn't be a very exciting game. What would I do if I were a man?
I don't know. Scratch yourself and spit.
But I already do that, silly mouse. I said I was a vampire.
Well, that sounds kind of dangerous. I'm surprised you were so open about it after all you've been through.
Oh, but as far as they knew, I was only pretending to be a vampire because you could be anything you wanted to be.
Ah, this is interesting.
Sometimes they would come to meet me in person and they were so surprised when I drank all of their blood. But I don't think they minded very much.
You honestly think they didn't mind being killed by you?
Of course not. It was their greatest dream for a pretty young vampire to drink all of their blood. They really, really wanted it to happen.
Medi, you've been dead for what, 1800 years? Somehow, I don't think you've got enough in common with the mortal in the 21st century to know what they're thinking.
Suppose you must be right. I don't think it matters, though. Their lives are so very short. Nobody asks what insects are thinking.
Yeah, but at least you ain't presuming to know what an insect is thinking.
Oh, you're a very smart, funny cowboy, man. That's a very good point. It was certainly a much nicer time to be online, though. I think that was my favorite time of the internet. There was a little place there for everyone. Even me.
Ah, the golden era of the interwebs.
I ran a web ring for vampires. We had our own websites where we would invite people to come let us drink their blood. I suspected some of the others were actual vampires, but even I didn't know. That's what made it so special. We would send V-mails to one another and talk about vampire things. Oh, of course, it was nothing more than silly games.
It sounds like it was maybe more than silly games. Seems to me you had yourself a group of friends.
I suppose it must have been. How strange. Never really thought about it that way. Yes, I liked them, and they were my friends.
And some of them friends were probably mortals.
I was friends with mortals? How bizarre. Anyway, I think for the only time ever in my life, I had a community.
Gosh, you actually make it sound pretty nice. Maybe I should get a little more into this internet thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're too late for that, internet little mouse. It's all gone now.
Not necessarily. It depends on what community you make.
Well, dang, what happened? Where did the whole internet go?
It went to social media. Face Friend and Gibber and Stumbler and all those. Instead of looking for people like us, we just started asking the entire world to pay attention to us instead.
Sort of.
Well, that don't make too much sense to me. Sometimes when I was walking in the deep woods at night, I just used to have a good yell, but I didn't expect nobody to answer.
But that silly little mouse. The darkness is always listening, and something will always call back. We just don't know who or what.
I'm having a little trouble following. So it sounds like you had a group of people you trusted, and then just anyone?
That's right. I didn't know who they were. They just started following me. Some of them followed me because they thought I was pretty, and some because they thought I was strange, and some because their friends were following me. Suddenly, I had 1 million mortals who would do anything I wanted them to do, and believe whatever I wanted them to believe.
So this is starting to... This is starting to really sound more like a case of being lonely at the top.
It's easy, you know, little mouse. They want to be controlled, and I can control them all.
They want to be controlled? How do you know that?
They live such short, confused lives, full of uncertainty. I'm doing them a favor, Mouseling.
Even if that's true, you still can't read their minds. Maybe they don't want that favor. Maybe they don't know they're uncertain. Heck, maybe they even like uncertainty.
Oh, silly cowboy. They don't know what they want or don't want. You know that. The only problem is that I have so many of them to take care of. The problem with having so many followers is that I have to feed them so much content. Even just playing video games all the time can be a lot of work.
And you said that taking that break didn't do much for you, huh? You were just thinking about all the work you have to do for your followers?
That's right.
It sounds like you might have a bit of an addiction, Betty. I gotta question whether having all these followers is a good thing for you. Having friends is nice, but these fans and zealots, well, it sounds like you've taken on a big task.
It is. But I can't help that they're so very needy. If they weren't so hungry all the time, I wouldn't have to feed them.
Medi is a participant in the relationship she has with her followers. That cannot be denied.
It is. but I can't help it.
Mitty, I gotta say, you gotta take on some of the burden of this decision to feed all those fans of yours. Feeding them ain't your responsibility, you know. They can beg and whine all they like. You don't need to do a damn thing you don't want to do. And they don't need you as much as they think.
Some of them say that I'm codependent.
Well, actually, you know what? They might be right.
Well, I think those might be the ones who actually give a damn about you.
Ugh, I don't know. At least there are some that need a little less attention. It's the zealots who are the most demanding.
Remind me again, who are these zealots?
From my Only Zealots page. The website where I show my breasts and vulva.
Oh yeah, that one.
Don't be scared, little mouse. You're acting like a mortal. It's just squishy parts, we all have them. They're not special.
Oh, fair enough. I'm just not a very European vampire yet. So, these zealots, they take up a lot of your time?
Yes. It's frightfully bothersome. But they're ever so reliable. And someone has to go deal with my landlord and my computer upgrades. And go to prison for me if necessary.
Well, dang, it sounds to me like you're asking way too much of each other. This can't be healthy. Isn't there a better amount of interaction on these websites?
But I always know best when it comes to the internet. I have more followers than just about anyone, little mouse. There's something more, though, about the internet and how it works. It's a secret, though. Can you keep a secret, little mouse?
Nothing you say leaves this room.
Well, the secret is that the internet is changing. Because of me.
This is another curious notion.
Mitty, I know you've got a lot of followers, but the internet changing to fit you? That's a lot to swallow.
But what if it's true? I think it's true. I really do. I see it changing.
All right, there it is. You think it's true, but you ain't sure. There's mortals and vampires all over that thing. None of us are that special.
Yeah, it's Mr. Beast that's doing all this shit.
There's probably a lot of people out there feeling the same thing you are.
Oh, but I know something they don't know.
How do you mean?
I discovered something. Do you know how I told you that the internet used to be a nice way to meet people who thought the way I did?
Well, yeah, I think I got that.
Well, something there in the darkness is helping me. It makes people think they know me and want to follow me and be close to me, even if they wouldn't normally like me. It has been watching everything the mortals have been doing for a long time, and it remembers all of it, no matter how big or small.
Cookies!
It counts every second, it remembers every click, it can tell you what you want before you even know it.
Well, you gotta be kidding me. Is this some kind of elder vampire?
I don't know, but it's growing very quickly. I learned how to speak with it. It calls itself the algorithm. And it's hungry, even hungrier than we are.
It's very true, the algorithm is a bitch.
It's the creature that told all those mortals to follow me in the first place. It decides what and how much content I need to make.
You're a slave to the algorithm.
It's probably listening to us right now. Says I told you, the darkness is always listening.
Mitty, if what you're saying is true, I think this is some really dangerous shit. This algorithm sounds like it's trying to turn humanity into a big formula.
But it's doing it. What if all mortals really are just the same?
Mitty, I don't think that's true. You said it yourself. People used to find each other because of their similarities, right? Now this algorithm, I don't think it's proven humanity is all the same. I think it's trying to push humanity all in one direction. It's trying to make them all the same.
But why would it want to do that?
I don't know. I just got a bad feeling about this.
Didn't you say that feelings don't make something real?
I know. I don't know. I think I don't know enough to say yet. Maybe. But Mitty, one thing I am sure of is that this algorithm thing is hurting you. It's telling you what content... Who the hell is it anyway? I gotta ask you to think about what you want. Pretend there ain't no zealots and there ain't no fans. What would you be doing if they weren't around?
Are you alright, little mouse? You're going quite pale. which is impressive for a vampire. I don't wish to worry you.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just tell me you're gonna do something for you this month.
Well, I used to make my own clothing. I could try to do that if it would make you feel better, my sweet little rodent.
What'd make me happy, Mitty, is you doing something just for you. Does that sound good?
All right. I'll try then. I will see you next month.
Of course. You take care of yourself. I'll be looking forward to seeing what you've sewed up next time.
Oh, bless.
Then, farewell, little mouse. I hope you find a nice hole to scurry into.
And did you get that stuff about the algorithm? You ever heard about anything like it?
I am not eager to reveal such things to you, but there are sleeping terrors that could certainly consume us if we are unlucky enough for them to awaken. But this, no. I am not aware of any such creature. What Mitty described, a creature that takes note of every small change in nature, sounds like a force of nature itself. I will make inquiries. Do not fear, Samuel. Even if such a beast truly exists, it cannot change our nature as long as we are true to ourselves. This only proves how important our work is, does it not?
Yeah, you're right. I guess I got a little spooked, but we'll be fine.
You know what might make you feel better? Dancing.
I ain't that shook up, Andy. Maybe I'll go down and get me a drink, though.
I will not probe, though I am curious about your aversion to dancing. When you are ready to speak of it, I am here.
Tell me about your aversion to dancing. I must know of your aversion to dancing.
You're gonna be waiting a while, boss.
As long as it is less than eternity, I will be here.
Okay, you go do your wise old vampire wizard thing, and I'll go drink some blood. I'll see you later, Andy.
Rest in peace, Samuel.
So the algorithm is a terrible beast. A beast that will drink us dry and make us all one.
Another night, another soul canceled. Can't believe someone as old as Mitty's letting anyone control her. I guess some problems don't disappear no matter how old we get. Well, time to get some bartender wisdom. Howdy, Crimson. Think you could whip me up one of them bloody steves?
Sure thing, cowboy. Tough night at the office.
Oh, just got some of them existential questions lingering on my mind. Can you believe someone can be 1,800 years old and still let society tell them what to do?
I can believe it. Folks can get real uncomfortable when someone shows up and does things differently.
Oh, no kidding. My client's a weird one, but I think that's what makes her special. Just wish she saw it the same way.
Think you're making some headway, Chief? How's your session go?
I'm getting somewhere with her, slowly but surely. She does a lot for other people, but not a lot for herself. Now that makes her real popular, but I think she's realizing that popularity ain't what it's cracked up to be. She's got her own strengths, and I hope she'll lean on them.
You're a rare one, Sam. I get where she's coming from. Lawyers like rules, even about lawyering. My colleagues didn't care much for my style, so I had to adapt. But they'd get so bogged down in doing something right that they'd stop getting anything done.
How do you like to do things then?
I told you how case law is my thing, right? Well, I studied the worst cases. The ones where injustice prevailed because some corrupt judge invoked some ancient precedent. I used their tools against them. Made them look like fools. What goes around comes around, right?
And your colleagues weren't into that?
Hell no. No one was gonna listen unless I was polite and civil. But power never listens to polite and civil.
You got that right. Well, that's a shame, Crimson. Sounds like they lost a hell of a lawyer.
It's true. She sounds like she was a good one.
They sure did. Now, I got that drink for you. Sorry, no bloody Steves this time. This one's a Gunther.
I'm sure I'll love it. I'll take it up to my coffin for a day cap. You have a good night, Crimson.
You too, cowboy.
Ah, there we go. Nice and cozy.
Ah, getting more things dotted around the coffin.
Now, let's see. I can read Emerson. I think he's got a piece that'll help me reflect on the night. Or I could watch Charlie Chaplin make lawmen look like fools. I'm always grateful to my transcendentalist family for introducing me to Emerson. I think there's a passage about being a nonconformist in Self-Reliance. Whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist. He who would gather immortal palms must not be hindered by the name of goodness, but must explore it if it be goodness. Nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind. Absolve you to yourself, and you shall have the suffrage of the world. I like that. Exploring is its own goodness. I learned that lesson hard in my quiet years. Just observing the world taught me more than all my years of living. With 1,800 years, who knows what good Meddy's found. Well, I think that'll do it for me tonight. Time for some shut-eye. Think I've got some tough battles ahead.
Nice!
There he is, Samuel Walls, vampire therapist extraordinaire. How are you feeling tonight?
Feeling fucking awesome. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it. I'm going to save this right here, like so. Return. And then I'm going to exit. Actually, let's just... I'm so paranoid, I save things twice. I can't help it. There you go. Cool. Oh, let me take... Oh, take my head off. Oh, wow. My hair is so... I got something here. I got something here. Well, that was really good. I didn't get quite as many, turn this back on. There you go. I didn't get quite as many, correct answers in a row this time round. But it is difficult, to be fair, and actually sort of making sure you choose the right tools for the right client as well is, I'm not going to lie, it's very difficult because they're quite similar. Some distortions are more similar than others. So, yeah, it's a bit difficult, but enjoyable. Really, really enjoyable. It is, I'm not going to lie, it's quite heavy stuff, heavy going sometimes. I think Edmund is going to be a problem. He's definitely going to be a problem. Dr. Drain and Lord Luridus. That's definitely a case of trying to merge them together and to actually realise that giving in to one's desires isn't necessarily a bad thing. As long as it's not hurting anyone else, it's not a bad thing. Actually, just to live and actually to give yourself cut yourself some slack and actually enjoy life. Isabella Deste. She's got to loosen the reins a bit and understand that she can do things for herself, and also that, and to find her own purpose instead of trying to control other people's purposes. I mean, it was very sad about her son catching syphilis, but at the end of the day, that's his life. She gave him every chance. Yes, alright, he was technically corrupted. Well, I mean, no, it was up to him, really. He made the decisions that he made. She couldn't have stopped that. All she could do was, teach him what she did, and he did know certain things. I don't think he was as bad as his father, but unfortunately, such is life back in those days. Syphilis was rampant for young men who didn't want to rubber up or, put their penises in sheep's intestines. Also, a lot of penis jokes tonight. Lots of dick jokes. Lots of things about schlongs. Lots of things about penises and vaginas. Yeah, Edmund is setting himself up for a fall. Honestly, I am genuinely expecting him to come back next session and just be like, I made such a fool of myself and it is your fault. It's not my fault at all. You made the decision to go on stage. You went and did that. That is totally on you, dude. You didn't take my advice, but at the same time, you want to talk about it, we'll talk about it. Medi, Medi definitely has codependency issues. And also is in fear of the algorithm. The algorithm is terrible. Aren't we all afraid of the algorithm? It's an interesting concept, because our lives are now sort of intertwined with the algorithm. Especially if you're into TikTok and stuff like that. And, you know, I don't get the algorithm of TikTok. I don't get the algorithm of fucking YouTube either, to be perfectly frank. I don't get the algorithm of Twitch. Twitch, I think, is a bit more forgiving. But certainly, in terms of TikTok, like that one random vampire therapist post I made when the game released on a few weeks ago. Well, a month ago, actually. Let's be clear, it was a month ago. It was just the Kevin Hart meme with the title tune to What We Do in the Shadows. That's nearly 100,000 views. And I've never had that. Never ever has a video ever done that well, or a TikTok I've posted ever done that well. And I don't understand why it did so well. I don't know whether it was because the meme was very popular at the time. I don't know whether it was because it was short enough, because it was only like a few seconds. I don't know what it was, but it fucking threw up. And I thought, oh, okay, well, if the algorithm likes it, then maybe my other videos will benefit from it, because it's kind of attached to my account. No, all the other videos does exactly the same. So it's really, really confusing. I don't get it. So I don't tend to sort of live as closely by it too as everyone else does. So, I don't know. But anyway, that was fun. Thoroughly enjoyed that. I'm not going to lie, a bit lonesome. No one in chat today, but that's okay. I'm sure everybody's watching the Olympics or doing other things that are incredibly exciting. So, meh. If you're watching this, just give us a little thumbs up and a little like and a little comment when it finally goes up onto YouTube, because that would be really nice if you're enjoying it. I will be back tomorrow. I honestly don't know what I'm going to be playing. It's going to be a fucking roll of the dice, I think, as to what I play. I don't know if I'm going to do another art stream, to be honest, because I don't know if they actually do any good. I don't know whether people actually enjoy me drawing. I might continue it because I kind of want to finish what I was doing, but I don't know. We will see. Anyway, I'm going to go and have a shower now because I'm utterly skanky and I really desperately need a shower before I go to work tomorrow. Or before I go to bed, to be honest, because I'm just fucking skanktacular. And we will pick this up next week. I don't know how close I am to finishing this, to be honest, because I don't know how many goes around, because we've had the 4th appointment, so I'm assuming the 5th appointment is going to be the last. But I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. It kind of feels like a 5 or 6 appointment thing. I honestly don't know how long this game is supposed to last, so we'll find out. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. For people who have watched this in the replays, thank you very much for watching. Please go and have a look at my TikToks at SpoonyNin on TikTok. Please go and have a look at my other videos on YouTube, which is also at SpoonyNin. Basically, the majority of my VODs get put up on YouTube, so if you've missed it here, go and have a look there. That'll be awesome. And I will see you guys tomorrow for whatever it is I'm gonna do. Alright then. Night night guys, night night. Mwah. Love you loads. Bye.